This is your host Tom coming to you from 734Games in beautiful Washtenaw County. And today we're playing or reviewing Sunset Overdrive by Insomniac Games and co-developed by Blind Squirrel and also published by Microsoft Games. This game was originally a Microsoft Xbox exclusive. Now we're playing it on the PC. This is a review of the PC version. Well, starting off with this game by Insomniac Games, the guys who brought you Ratchet & Clank and Spider-Man, let's talk about the cons of this game. Now, this game is a pretty good game. I would say that they made Spider-Man pretty much right after this game, and I would say the camera angles are a little better in this game than they were in Spider-Man for some reason. I think it has something to do with the web slinging. It made it very hard, and New York was such a big environment. It made them very hard to get the camera angles right. They did that better. But the cons of this game is that the graphics are not quite as pretty as the screenshots. And now it's a little bit more jaggy, and I did fall through the map once, and I had to start the game over. So, I mean, other than that, that's pretty much the cons of this game. Other than that, everything works like it's supposed to. I would have to say, I don't know if I'd call this a con, but this game isn't quite front-loaded as front-loaded as some games. When you start out, you have to go through this tutorial, and it seems like it's about 30 to 45 minutes. And the tutorial may throw you off, because when I played this on the Xbox, I played the tutorial, and it really didn't do anything to me. I had Games Pass, and I was like, it's all right. I wasn't very impressed with it. Now, playing through the tutorial and finally getting to the main game, into the open world, the game was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. Now, looking at the history of Insomniac Games, you may think that Insomniac Games is owned by Sony. They're not owned by Sony. They're an independent private company. So they made this game for the Xbox One, and it didn't do that well. I mean, it's a great game. It's a lot of fun. If you have an Xbox, I think you should get it. Definitely play through the tutorial and get to the main game to see how fun the game is. The object of the game is about staying in motion and killing with style. It's a third-person shooting game where you slide around on rails and you shoot not really technically zombies, mutant monsters that have infected the city. Basically, the people in the city have drank this energy drink, and it's turned them all into mutants. So basically, you gotta set everything right again. The city's been shut off from the rest of the world. Seems like the game was set in like 2027 or 2030 or something like that. You'll see later on in the game. But this game is really an homage to the 90s. It's really cool. It's kind of like it reminds me a lot of Jet Grind Radio and Jet Set Radio. And it's just a fun skating third person open world shooting game that is a lot of fun and really enjoyable. And when you get to playing it, you'll find that the movements and the mechanics are very intuitive and a lot of fun. And there's a lot here to like. The game has full controller support on PC. Great game on PC. Even though the graphics aren't as good as they could be, I think the game looked better on the One X than it does on the PC. But it's still a fun game. And if you have Windows 10, you can't really play Jet Grind Radio, even though they have it for Windows. Jet Grind Radio doesn't really work in Windows 10. This game works beautifully in Windows 10, and you're totally going to enjoy it. There's a lot here to like. You get a character creator that's really cool. You can make your character look like however you want the character to look, male or female or whatever. It's a lot of fun. The characters in the story are a lot of fun. I think you're going to enjoy it a lot if you like third-person shooting games. And mainly the object of the game, I said, is momentum, style, and shooting. With all that being said, what do I give Sunset Overdrive? I'm going to rate Sunset Overdrive an 8.5 out of 10. Sunset Overdrive is a fun game with great presentation. It's a lot of fun, great voice acting, and excellent gameplay. It has a few minor flaws, but those minor flaws will not stop you from enjoying this fun game. And if you have this game, or if you want this game, you need an Xbox, a Windows PC. You could either get it on Steam or you can get it on the Microsoft Windows 10 store. So those are the two stores that are available for PC gamers. Right now it's only on Windows. Obviously, this game was published by Microsoft Games after all. So There's really no other place to play it except for the Xbox and Windows PC. So I'm sorry, Linux guys, but maybe you'll get it. Maybe they'll figure out Steam will figure out a way to emulate this game on Steam OS and obviously Linux, and you'll be able to play this game, because I think you're really missing out if you can't play this game. And that's pretty much it for this episode of 734 Games. This is your host Tom signing off from 734 Games, where gaming is alive.